Okay, let's unpack this. Welcome to this deep dive. We're jumping into a fascinating stack of sources today. Excerpts that capture a snapshot of trending conversations from the X platform on May 31st, 2025.
That's right. We've pulled together posts that offer a real cross-section of what was buzzing online that day, touching on technology, global affairs, market trends, and yeah, even some cultural observations.
Our mission is to cut through the noise in these 12 posts, extract the signal, and distill what was lighting up the platform and why it should matter to you.
Think of it as your shortcut to understanding the diverse currents flowing through online discourse.
Exactly. We'll guide you through the key points from the source material for each post, provide essential context, and help connect the dots to give you a sharp, insightful look.
So let's dive into this stack and see what essential knowledge we can extract for you.
First up, a post from @DavidSachs that just says, concerning. He's pointing to a Wall Street Journal article highlighting China's lead in specific tech areas. Solar, EVs, drones.
Right, and the source material shows that what makes this particularly, concerning in online talk is the link made straight to AI. The post points to China's energy advantage, citing an analyst, Doug O'Loughlin, noting that advanced AI like Huawei's Cloud Matrix 384 uses a lot of electricity. And that's an area where China has, well, deep supply chain dominance. It's not just about current tech, it's setting the stage for AI competition down the line.
Right, and the source mentions SINC, China's big chip maker, still innovating despite U.S. bans, becoming the world's third largest chip producer. That really underscores their manufacturing edge, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even under pressure.
Yeah, and the replies show this tension. Some voices are advocating for cooperation, others are criticizing what they see as U.S. policy failures, especially on clean energy investment that could maybe bridge this gap.
Someone at BTC Dad Thoughts raised a point about the strong U.S. dollar maybe discouraging industrial production here.
Exactly. And there's also this economic angle on clean tech, like the Science Direct research mentioned about China's EV subsidies. The source says these cut CO2 at $712 per ton, which, okay, raises efficiency questions, but it clearly signals this long-term, heavily subsidized strategic push in these tech sectors.
So the insight here, really pulling from these sources, is how one word concerning from someone like Sachs just ignites this whole conversation.
Totally. It connects China's current tech strength, like EVs, to these future anxieties about AI dominance, and it kicks off debates about policy and competition. It shows how tech leads get framed geopolitically online, instantly.
Okay, leaving the geopolitical stuff for a sec, let's zoom in on something pretty groundbreaking in AI creativity. Min Choi posted It's Over, talking about a new tool, FLUX.1 Kontext, from Black Forest Labs.
Yeah, this got a lot of buzz. It promises you can edit AI-generated images live with text prompts, but, and this is key, keep the character and any text in the image consistent.
Like the example they used editing the distracted boyfriend meme, changing hairstyles and stuff.
Exactly that one, yeah. The source mentioned it went viral. Pixel-perfect tweaks, supposedly in seconds. And it's fast, up to 8 times faster rendering, better photorealistic quality.
Wow.
The capabilities mentioned are pretty broad, changing styles instantly, turning things into Lego, colorizing old photos. It's built on what they call a multimodal diffusion transformer architecture.
Okay, fancy name.
Basically, yeah, it's a powerful AI model built to handle images and text inputs together really well. That's the secret sauce for the consistency and speed.
People are calling it a potential new Photoshop for the AI era.
Yeah.
And it's accessible too, right? Free basic access, open source coming.
Which raises a big question for anyone in creative fields, A tool this fast for editing AI stuff, not just generating it from scratch, that could totally change workflows.
Being able to iterate instantly while keeping the core elements locked, that's huge.
Definitely. The insight is that AI is moving fast beyond just making images to really sophisticated, intuitive editing. It could make complex visual stuff much more accessible.
Okay, from AI editing, let's look up, way up, at Elon Musk. Another characteristic boast about Starlink.
His claim. Starlink is now the first high-bandwidth internet covering all of Earth. He's specifically mentioned reaching super remote spots, like mountains in Antarctica, middle of the ocean.
Bold claim, and it builds on SpaceX just cranking out those satellites, right? The source said over 5,000 by May 2025.
Yeah, the network's massive. But what's interesting in the source material is how it connects this boast to actual impact. Starlink has been vital for aid groups, like in Gaza in 2023.
Right, and bypassing internet shutdowns like in Iran in 2022.
Exactly. So the insight isn't just the tech milestone. Starlink's scale has real humanitarian and political implications. It's a potential workaround for traditional infrastructure.
But is it really everywhere, covering absolutely everything right now? What about the limitations the sources mentioned?
Good point. Yeah, the source points out big barriers. Cost is a major one. $599 for the dish, and then $200 a month for global roaming. That puts it out of reach for a lot of people.
And politics too, right? The Brazil thing in 2024 over X and alleged misinformation.
Yeah, that shows these global systems aren't immune. They hit regulatory hurdles, political friction from countries. It's not just about launching satellites.
Staying with space, SpaceX's official account posted about a specific detail from a recent Starship Super Heavy booster test flight.
Yeah, the flip maneuver. They highlighted the controlled flip the booster did for the first time right after stage separation. It looks cool, but it's technically really significant.
Why is that flip such a big deal? Just looks like showing off.
Maybe a little. But no, it's crucial for full reusability. By flipping and reorienting earlier, the booster needs less fuel reserve for its landing burn.
Oh, okay, less fuel means.
More room for payload, more mass they can carry to orbit on future missions. So this test was a big step for their whole reusable rocket strategy.
The source even mentioned footage from the engine bay during hot staging. That must be intense. Shows the complexity.
Totally. And these steps feed right into SpaceX's big goals. Moon, Mars. It connects to NASA's Artemis program, that $4 billion commitment to get astronauts back to the moon by 2027.
So even a detailed maneuver like this flip, it's a tangible building block towards those huge future missions, making spaceflight more efficient.
Exactly. It's about refining the process piece by piece.
All right, let's ground ourselves completely. Rockets 2, kitchen hacks. At Guns Roses Girl 3, the science girl, posted about some TikTok cooking tips.
Yeah, the eternal quest for kitchen shortcuts. This one highlighted an egg peeling hack. Add a lemon slice to the boiling water, supposedly makes shells easier to peel.
Okay, how's that supposed to work?
The idea is the citric acid from the lemon reacts with the calcium in the eggshell, making it softer or maybe more brittle.
Does the science actually back that up, though? The source mentioned a study.
It did, yeah, a PMC study.
Yeah.
It indicated citric acid can interact with eggshells, but the study also noted it really depends on things like concentration, the method.
So just tossing a slice in might not cut it reliably in your kitchen.
Pretty much. Which matches the mixed results people reported in the replies, right? The source mentioned someone at Tisvan Boxtel saying it didn't work for them, eggs still stuck.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hit or miss.
Right. The post also had another hack, using a muffin tin for poaching eggs in bulk. That one seems more solid. The source said culinary sites support it.
The insight here feels less about the eggs themselves and more about how these hacks spread online. Clever-sounding tips go viral, but the reliability, often shaky.
Definitely. That mix of hope and skepticism is classic internet advice, isn't it? Why do you think these hacks stay so popular, even if they don't always work? That promise of an easy fix is strong.
Moving from the kitchen to the media world, at Catturd 2 posted a claim, a pretty strong one, about MSNBC and CNN ratings being in freefall.
The post used data cited from a TV Insider report, May 2025. According to that report in the source, MSNBC viewership down 24% year over year, CNN down 18%. Meanwhile, Fox News reportedly saw a 21% increase.
And the source material connects this post and that data to this broader online talk about declining trust in mainstream media.
Yeah, it contextualizes it partly by mentioning historical stuff like Donald Trump's enemy of the people phrase from 2017 and referencing a Harvard analysis suggesting that kind of language aims to delegitimize media.
The source also brings up reasons people suggest for the MSNBC-CNN dip, like maybe less political engagement post-election.
Right, while noting Fox News's reported big share, like 65% of cable news viewers, suggesting, according to the source's interpretation anyway, a shift towards outlets audiences feel align more with their views.
So the insight, just looking at how this source presents the online discussion, is that these specific rating numbers become weapons in online arguments about media trust and shifts in viewing habits.
Exactly. The figures are used to argue audiences are moving away from certain traditional news sources towards others they perceive differently. It fuels that narrative.
Okay, next, something more. Philosophical, futuristic. At Bryan Johnson posted about imagining a world with no locks, no passwords.
Yeah, Bryan Johnson. known for biotech, his intense anti-aging experiments. This idea of a really cool future without locks fits his whole vibe of radical transformation through tech.
And the replies mentioned in the source showed a real split, didn't they? Some linked a lockless world to needing huge societal trust, even connecting it to cultural homogeneity, citing some research and discussions.
Right, that social angle. While others jumped straight to tech solutions, like quantum encryption. The source mentioned IBM's notes from 2025 about needing quantum-resistant encryption to secure data against future quantum computers breaking today's codes.
Interesting split. Tech fix versus social fix.
And the source even noted this sparked weird side things, like a parody crypto token mentioned, SPX 6900, shows how these deep ideas instantly cross over with online speculation and meme culture.
So the insight is how a simple utopian idea, no locks, immediately breaks into these two camps online. One focused on society, trust, culture, the other on purely technological fixes, like quantum computing.
Yeah, it reveals those different lenses people use to think about radical future changes. What do you see as the biggest hurdle to a world like that? Is it tech or something more human?
Bringing AI back in. At Andrew Yang posted linking AI to Universal Basic Income, UBI.
Yang, yeah, he's long been the UBI guy, proposed that $1,000 monthly freedom dividend. His argument here is the same core one. AI's taking jobs, so we need UBI as a safety net. He's predicted, a third of U.S. jobs gone in 12 years?
But the source mentioned a World Economic Forum report from 2025 with a different take globally. AI displacing 75 million jobs but creating 133 million. A net gain.
That's the apparent contradiction, yeah. But the source also notes the WEF report highlights that job displacement hits specific sectors hard, like manufacturing, which is exactly Yang's concern.
Ah, okay. So global net gain doesn't mean specific workers aren't still displaced.
Precisely, and that displacement issue is central to the UBI argument. The resistance in the replies, though, it hits familiar notes. How do you fund it? People citing U.S. debt.
And the ideological pushback, framing it as socialism?
Right, though the source does include that counterexample people bring up, Alaska's oil dividend. It functions like UBI, paid out for decades, and hasn't caused runaway inflation or anything.
So the online conversation boils down to this recurring debate. Is UBI necessary for the AI disruption Yang sees coming? Or are the funding and ideological hurdles just too high, even if new jobs don't perfectly replace the old ones?
It shows how fast global job data gets pulled into these long-running economic and political fights.
Okay, total gear shift again. From future economics to home gym deals.
Yeah.
And another Cohen posted about a Walmart dumbbell deal.
Yeah, very practical. He highlighted getting 550 pounds of dumbbells for under $1 a pound, and crucially, free 2-day shipping from Walmart.
Which is a steal, right. The source mentioned typical prices were over $1.50 a pound in 2024. Big discount.
And the picture with the post apparently showed a full garage gym setup. Hex dumbbells, storage bins, rubber floor, really paints that picture of the ongoing home fitness trend.
The replies brought up the practical side, though. Like, how do you even move 550 pounds when it arrives? Need a dolly, for sure.
Definitely. And Cohen himself mentioned he prefers fixed dumbbells over adjustable ones, finds adjustables bulky. That's a whole debate in fitness circles online.
So the insight isn't just the price. It's a snapshot, isn't it? Shows the strong demand for home gym gear, people hunting for value, and how these deals become talking points in niche communities.
Yeah, it reflects those consumer habits and lifestyle trends playing out right there on the platform.
Back to AI, but less hype, more frustration. Yeah. Captured in a meme from @TrashDev.
Oh yeah, this one's good. It uses that image of Hayao Miyazaki, the animator, cutting his own hair, from that documentary. It symbolizes his super hands-on, meticulous style.
Right, almost artisanal. And it's paired with text.
Claw.
You're absolutely right.
Exactly. It nails that shared frustration, especially among developers. The source notes Claude AI has faced criticism for issues like handling long prompts badly or connectivity glitches.
So the meme uses Miyazaki's intense manual effort to contrast with getting this generic, enthusiastic, you're absolutely right, from an AI.
When what you really need is for it to just work properly and do the detailed thing you asked it to do. It's poking fun at that gap.
And it resonated, right? The source said replies used other memes, like Michael Scott from The Office, to share that same exasperation.
Totally. The insight is how online culture uses humor, memes, specific references like Miyazaki to express these shared, sometimes technical, frustrations.
It shows that feeling online that despite all the promises, AI reliability can still be lacking. And people bond over that gap between the hype and the reality. Okay, let's dip into political satire, a post from @the Babylon Bee.
Right, the Babylon Bee, the satirical site, they ran a fake story claiming French President Macron blamed a black eye on falling downstairs.
And the source explains the real-world hook for this satire. That viral video from May 25th of his wife Brigitte pushing his face during a trip.
Exactly. The satire also kind of taps into other things people talk about online regarding the Macrons, their age gap, those recent denied drug rumors reported by The Cut.
Subtle nods to existing narratives. And the image was altered too, right? For comedic effect.
Yeah, standard satire tactic. And the replies mentioned, like one from @LibertyPill meme joking about Brigitte's dominance, show how the satire connects with existing online discourse about their relationship dynamics.
So the insight here is purely about how political satire operates online. It grabs onto viral moments, plays on existing public narratives or gossip about figures like Macron, and uses exaggeration for laughs.
It's reflecting and amplifying how online humor comments on public figures, using those viral moments as fuel. Again, just reporting how the source describes the satire and reaction, not endorsing any claims.
All right, let's finish with sports and pop culture. A tweet from @BenStiller.
Ben Stiller, yeah, the actor, he commented on Tyrese Halliburton's pregame outfit.
Halliburton showed up for Game 6 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals in all black.
And Stiller read into it, implying it signaled defeat for Halliburton's Pacers. They were down 3-2 to the Knicks at that point.
High-stakes Game 2. Source notes a Pacers loss meant season over. A win forced Game 7. Knicks had just won Game 5 thanks to Brunson and Towns.
Right. So the insight is how celebrity comments like Stiller's amplify the drama. In big playoff games, fans, commentators, everyone starts reading the tea leaves, body language, outfits.
Interpreting everything as psychological warfare or a sign of confidence or lack thereof.
Exactly. Stiller's tweet just taps right into that fan behavior, makes the outfit a talking point, adds another layer of entertainment to the whole narrative around the game. What signals do you look for in those high-pressure sports moments?
Wow, okay. That was a rapid-fire tour through a pretty wild slice of online chatter from just one day on X. We hit everything from, high-level tech and geopolitics down to kitchen tips and memes.
It really does show the sheer speed and breadth of topics flying around online. Different corners light up with completely different things, analysis, frustration, humor, all at once.
Yeah, we went from AI competition between nations to fine-tuning AI images to global satellite internet, reusable rockets, egg-peeling hacks.
Media ratings debates, philosophical ideas about trust, UBI arguments, home gym deals, AI frustrations, political satire, and yeah, even NBA pregame fashion commentary. It's a lot.
It makes you think, how do all these totally unrelated threads, all buzzing at the same time, actually shape our view of what's going on? Or do they just create noise?
That's a great question. As you're scrolling through your own feeds, maybe think about that. How much of this diverse, fast-moving stream feels truly significant or useful to you?
And does having all these disparate conversations happening side by side change how you process information? Definitely something to mull over as you navigate those digital currents yourself.